Hey,
Hi.
who are you?
I'm solid.
What's going on? Are you rested?
Yeah. Do you know what? Since we've been back from New York, I've been sleeping like pretty okay, except for like 2 nights ago. Oh my God, the first night we got back, I slept like a baby. I slept
I did too.
hard and long. And then the second night, not so much. I think because of the first night. And then last night, I got a good sleep in. I've also been going to the bathroom every 10 seconds because didn't do much of that in New York.
Welcome to Disrespectfully
With Katie Maloney.
and Dana Cathan.
Unapologetically,
We're here to do what we want to do.
spilling the tea.
Babe, you're going to see the power of women. Like,
Disrespectfully.
Oh, this is so like.
What's wrong with Virgo?
This is so us.
What are they doing?
Playing with the chainsaw. No, nothing's wrong with Virgos. I love Virgo people. Don't say it because we're always Virgo. It's not like friend Virgos, but no, I'm never dating a Virgo again. You know how some signs aren't good fits? It's just not a good fit.
Listen, I don't know. I constantly keep going for ones that apparently aren't good for me, but guess what? I like what I like. But according to astrologist and astrology, I'm supposed to be with like a Taurus or a Virgo, but I've never met a Taurus man or a Virgo man.
Are those air signs?
Earth.
Earth, and are you an Earth sign? Yeah,
Mhm.
they all just say we're supposed to same. They're like Aries and Sag, and I'm like, I honestly think that one of each sign has disappointed me at some point in my life. So I don't know how true that is.
Exactly. I don't know. Give me a little chaos. Throw a little fire, a little air in there.
I think that out of like they did a thing once saying what all the infamous serial killers signs were. Not one Leo. I just want to point that out. I think there were a lot of Virgos.
I think they're all like, what are they? Are they Sagittarius? No, they're what
Which
are they?
again is my counterpart. I don't know, but there was one that was majority of it. I think there were some Geminis. I think there were some Cancers.
Cancers. They're emotional.
Mm.
A lot of Capricorn.
Really? No way.
Oh,
I don't believe.
Excuse me.
No.
Those are the victims.
Okay. Tight.
The serial killers by zodiac sign. Tied at first is Cancer, Pisces, Sag.
See, I
Scorpio.
Scorpio. That makes sense.
Cancer's kind of surprising to me, but
You know, I have a Scorpio Mars, which
Ooh.
rules your aggression.
well, that makes tons and tons
You know,
of sense.
when I really feel something, I really feel something.
Wait, are we supposed to know what our Mars is?
I know it all of it.
I stopped after the first 3. Maybe I should look more into it.
Look at your Venus and your Mars. That's how you love and how you fight.
Hmm.
Wait,
Interesting.
Venus is in my Capricorn is my Venus. Also my Saturn. Capricorn, I have like Capricorn rules my whole thing. It rules my 10th house, and also Pluto's. It's about to leave Capricorn finally. Thank God. It's been it for the last 16 years. You know that?
No,
I've had a rough 16 years.
16 years.
But it's
Do you think it aligned with the last 16 years for you?
Hell yeah. Hell fucking yeah. I know a lot of people don't like the woo woo and the astrology, but like if you really start looking at it and like think about some of the things that you've gone through and dates and how it's aligned with like certain, retrogrades and things like that, try to debunk it.
Well, if your rage is aligned with Scorpio, then I believe everything you're telling me. So,
Well, that's why I feel like also when it comes to like compatibility with other signs, it has to like be more like f your sun. You know what I mean? It's gonna be what your, Venus is ruled by, what your Mars is ruled by, and also like I think more so your rising, what your ascent is.
yeah, see, I wish I knew more about what it meant. Like, I don't. So, why is our sun our main one, but then your rising is more like I'm Sag rising, and that's what you present as, or other people interpret you as?
What you present as, what you're seen as, what
Hmm.
I think what you identify to be. And your sun, I think, is what you are aspire to become. Like that's what your like goal and ambitions are to be.
That makes everyone wants to be a Leo. So, for me, that would make sense.
No.
Okay, now I'm getting it.
No.
Now it's tracking.
No, I think everyone wants to be Capricorn.
I've never heard that before. It's so interesting.
Well, a lot of people
First
like
time for everything.
a lot of people like Capricorn.
Can I make an observation about you today?
Huh?
Beyond the fact that I now know you're Scorpio rage
That I
fest?
look like I just walked out of the movie of 10 Things I Hate About You.
No, you look like Boo from Monsters Inc. after she had gotten into her parents' alcohol and became a weathered woman. I love it. She looks Katie, if you can't see her today,
Weathered woman.
has her hair and these really cute little pigtails. And Boo has dark short hair and loves purple. And you just look like the cool, like we know what she looks like on the other side now that she grew up.
What she grew up to be
Hot and
after
cool.
she saw some shit.
She's seen some shit. She's been through some shit. She's had a lot of life experiences. That Sully character, you know, he was like her mentor at one point, lost his way. Maybe turned out to be a little weird, little.
She walked through that door one too many times.
One too many times. So that's what you're looking like today. It's very cute though.
Thanks. Yeah, I don't know. The hair I'm just playing around with.
You should keep doing. I love the headband. Like you should keep doing variations of this. I love it.
Yeah, it's
Your
like
perspective.
I'm just like over here Y2K. Not that there's a problem with it, but it's when people say like I'm nearly 40. I'm 38 years old and wearing pigtails.
I mean, there's no rules anymore.
No, I know.
Honestly,
but like it's just funny. Like
airport rules have transcended real life because everything's so fucked up. So like nothing makes sense. So yeah, wear pigtails. I hope I see a 60-year-old later walking down with some.
Yeah, it's a lawless
piggies.
land.
It's lawless.
Wear your hair in pigtails.
Go for a beer at 7 a.m. Be an overachiever.
Exactly. They don't count. Same way cigarettes don't count in Europe or whatever.
The main reason it's like, oh, I can't wait to explore the world with my sister. No, I can't wait to go smoke at 6 a.m. with an espresso.
Can't wait to just chain smoke. And have, wine for breakfast and just eat bread nonstop.
Which is funny because when you go to Europe, and I know everyone says this, but it's true. You just like eat things you would eat here for a long period of time and don't really work out beyond walking, and you come back hotter.
Yeah.
Like I don't get it. I don't care. I'm not complaining. I love it.
Oh, why would you complain?
Mostly out of necessity because my fridge is, you open it and a tumbleweed comes out and it like whistles like that old cowboy noise. And I had yesterday for breakfast, I was starving. I had no food. I had 2 cubes of cheese and a grape, like that old yummy white like English cheddar that's really sharp.
Ooh, yeah. Got a bite to it.
Delicioso.
You couldn't tell if it was bad or not.
No, I couldn't. I smelled it and I was like, you know what? Let's roll the dice. You literally cannot. I was like, this is either a mold or a rind. But you know what? I have been through enough in my life. I feel like I can handle it. And I'm still here and I'm doing great. But I was like, this is very, should I light up? Like I'm basically in Paris right now. It's great.
Well, why not? Live your best life.
Oh my God. The other night, I got up 6 times in 2 hours to go pee. And I was like,
tiny bladder.
I am the tiniest bladder. And I'm like, I hadn't been drinking alcohol. Yes, lots of water. But I was just like, I feel like I need one of those life alerts because this is when it happens to them, when old people fall and they can't get up in the middle of the night. And I'm like, why are you pee more than anyone I've ever met?
I know, but you were peeing less than I think I was when we were probably because you were dehydrated.
Something was something had gone. The pendulum had swung into dangerous territory. So some type of failure is coming for me. I don't know what it is. I can't wait to find out.
No.
But I just have to live my life now.
Mm-hmm.
I slept horrible last night. And
what else is new?
What else is new? The thing is, no, I was on a good streak in the last few weeks. However, I will stop talking about it, but I'm so dead ass. I literally cannot sleep without listening to Matthew Perry.
Oh, I thought you were going to say you couldn't sleep without me because we've been sleeping together
I was so excited to not be sleeping with you. Are you kidding? We will be getting all into that.
Rude.
No, I don't know when it's going to end. I tried switching to A Court of Thorns and Roses, listening to that book's an easy listen. And then around 3 a.m. when I couldn't sleep, I was like,
Matthew Perry.
Chapter 10, The Big Terrible. Just his voice. Anyway, so that's not on that. Should we get into Daddy List before we tell them all about our East Coast adventure?
Let's talk daddy.
Who's on your Daddy List today?
You know what's on my Daddy List.
Well, they don't.
Do you know what's on my Daddy List?
Mm-hmm. Sure do.
You do?
No, I don't.
Oh.
I'm going to know it right when you say it, though.
Well, yeah, because we
discussed it. We discussed a bunch.
Put that on the list.
Wait, real quick before we get to it, I wouldn't tell Katie. I had a really good daddy that we both would love in a good basement, and then I wouldn't tell her because I was like, no, we need to talk about it on the podcast.
Forgot it?
And then I forgot it. I didn't write it down. I told you I did that. Anyway, continue. Who's on your daddy list? I'm an idiot.
Okay, it's not a who, but it's like a what, per usual. Mine's kind of like, it's a little horny.
Oh, okay.
I don't know what to call it. I guess
well, you're gonna have to try.
No, I know.
No.
I know. I don't want to call it earplay, but for the sake of explaining it, we'll call it earplay. Okay, you know when somebody like slightly like blows in your ear, or like, like maybe you're like, it doesn't even have to be like total like you're getting down, but like maybe it's accidental. Someone like whisper something in your ear and you kind of like do one of these little, like it
You do
sends
a
a little
little,
shiver. Love that.
oh,
More of that,
the best.
please.
I mean, are you saying only when it's unintentional or all ear play? Unintentional to the spectrum of
Unintentional all the
completely
way to
intentional?
like somebody like sticking a tongue in your
I want
ear.
you to try and lick my frontal cortex is basically what I was saying. Entrance through thy ear.
And then out the other way. Like, yeah.
I want it to go all the way through.
You want them to get that spider out.
Like those arrow hats. Yeah, I want them to come out with the whole Charlotte's Web. Those arrow hats, like that's how I want it to look, tongue-wise.
You want them to wear your head. No, but I think it's so like I'm sorry, but there's an art to it. I will say that. You can't just be
Here's the thing. I think it's
feasting, but like
I think it's harder to
okay.
I think it's harder to fuck up than other things though.
True.
Like it's
true,
really
true.
easy for people to not know where your clitoris is and like get really lost and confused and like lose their way, right?
Mhm.
And they're just doing the wrong things and everything's horrible.
No bearings.
This, I would say it's like a 10% chance that you will fuck it up because
True.
it's really like enjoyable all around. Now it can be, you know, too much.
Don't get up into the cartilage.
No. Or like
Behind
the ear.
the ear.
What are you
No,
doing?
what are you doing back there?
What are you doing?
That's not
You've
what we're
lost your way.
Yeah. But also
That's the labia of the head. Like that's not where we want it
also
to be.
don't get too like talky in it too, because then I'm hearing too much of your mouth noise. I just want to hear I just want to feel air and like maybe slight whisper.
I like a nice breath, but not like
like a
you're my 29th. For our last episode,
Please no.
we don't want that. You're my 29th. We want it to be a little breathy and like I like an ear scrape, like and like a like and like a like more of like a breathing in is nice to me, and then yeah, like maybe whisper something, but by that point, I don't really want to be understanding English. That's how good I want it to be.
yeah.
But you can take me the fuck out with good ear play.
Yeah, a bite on the lobe. Holy hell. Also, the unintentional too, somebody like tucks your hair behind your ear. Excuse you.
I do. I will.
Weird way to propose.
I am
but
pregnant.
Yeah, like
When are we going to tell everyone?
goodbye. I know, like
I had someone touch my calf recently that was like kind of similar in a way that like I was in a dress and sitting up, so they were kind of like more parallel with my leg, and it was the very intentional caress and like subtle and quick, and I was like, took me out. That was right up there with an ear tuck to me. I know it's a little different part of the body, but same like the tenderness of it all and the like subtlety. Like you said, it's an art.
I'm all right. I'm sweating.
I'm
Okay.
sweating.
Yeah, so daddy. Anyway, what's on your daddy list?
Yeah, let's come back to the room. Let's come back to center. I recently realized I was paying for a subscription that I totally forgot about. Happens all the time. And apparently I had been paying for it not once, but twice. That's where Rocket Money came to the rescue. This app made it super easy to track all my subscriptions in one place, and it even canceled the one I was paying for twice with just a few taps. If you're like me and you can't remember every subscription you've ever signed up for, Rocket Money, it's a game changer.
Rocket Money is your personal finance app that helps you find and cancel unwanted subscriptions, monitor your spending, and even lower your bills. Imagine seeing all your subscriptions in one place and knowing exactly where your money is going. For any you don't want, Rocket Money can help you cancel them easily.
With Rocket Money's dashboard, you get a clear view of your expenses, which I know sometimes we don't want to look at. It's scary, but it's a clear view of all of your accounts. You can create a personalized budget, track your spending, and get alerts if your bills increase and if there's unusual spending. Plus, their new goals feature helps you automatically save money for things like paying off debt or building your savings without having to think about it.
And here's a cool feature. Rocket Money can negotiate lower bills for you. They automatically scan your bills to find savings opportunities and will handle negotiations with customer service, potentially saving you up to 20%.
Rocket Money has over 5 million users and has saved a total of $500 million in canceled subscriptions, with members saving up to $740 a year using all of the app's features.
Stop wasting money on things you don't use. Cancel your unwanted subscriptions by going to rocketmoney.com/disrespectfully. That's rocketmoney.com/disrespectfully. rocketmoney.com/disrespectfully.
I don't know about you, but I'm all about finding a great deal without jumping through hoops. That's why I was skeptical when Mint Mobile said you should get wireless for just $15 a month with a 3-month plan.
It turns out it's that easy. The hardest part for me was the time I spent on hold breaking up with my old provider. Switching to Mint Mobile was a breathe.
The Mint Mobile website was super straightforward, and setting up my plan was quick and simple. I was amazed at how smooth the entire process was, from purchase to activation. It's like Mint Mobile made it their mission to take the hassle out of getting a wireless service. Like, who'da thunk it?
And the best part, you're not sacrificing quality. For just $15 a month, you get high-speed data, unlimited talk and text, all delivered on the nation's largest 5G network. Plus, you can keep your phone and number with Mint Mobile.
If you're ready to make the switch and save big, head on over to mintmobile.com/disrespectfully. There, you'll see a 3-month plan that are just $15 a month, including the unlimited plan. Like, what? That's basically free.
To get this awesome deal and 3 months of premium wireless service for just $15 a month, visit mintmobile.com/disrespectfully. That's mintmobile.com/disrespectfully. Cut your wireless bill to just $15 a month at mintmobile.com/disrespectfully.
$45 upfront payment is required, equivalent to $15 a month. New customers on first 3-month plan. Speed slower above 40 gigabytes on unlimited plan. Additional taxes, fees, and restrictions apply. See Mint Mobile for more details. What is on my... I think I actually have... Okay, mine are... My first one's disgusting. Nothing to do with what you just said.
Great.
But I don't care. I don't care. I feel like if you have a pet, you'll understand this. I really, really, really love taking the eye boogers out of Laszlo's eyes. I love doing it to Leo when they have a crusty. I love getting it out of there and cleaning off their face. And then they have a cute little clean face. I'm sorry. It's so satisfying to me.
I like that too, but my dogs hate it. Like whenever I have to do that, they're trying to get away, and like Butter gets like the worst eye boogers ever. Like I just look at him, I'm like, you got a dirty face. He's just like,
he looks like he just came out of a little dumpster.
Yeah, I'm just like, you're dirty, and it just gets to the point where if you can't keep up on it, I'm just like, it's just booger face.
Brother,
Brother,
what's that?
You got a booger face, dude.
She lets me, and I just kind of sits there like this, and I don't know, I love it. And again, Leo did it too. Do you like your dog?
I was just gonna say I love wiping Beans' eyes.
Yeah,
and then
I just
she'll
feel like
lick it.
I just feel like it's a pet thing. So like that's difficult experience for you with boogers hating it, but boogers.
This is new name, boogers.
Boogers, Butter. I'm sorry,
Butter.
So that was one, and then my other one is when you are traveling. Like I'm very specific about how I pack, but then it's like bomb goes off. Wherever you're staying, Airbnb, hotel, what? It's great. It just goes. Poof. But then my favorite thing is to then refold all my clothing and repack everything nicely, zip up, bags by the door, and doing a final sweep is very daddy. I love that final sweep. I'm like fucking SEAL Team 6, making sure nothing is left behind. I'm very thorough. Daddy for me.
Thoroughness is daddy.
Yes. You can go ahead and add that to your list.
Hell yeah.
So that's my
I know
dynamics for the
normally
day.
I do that. Like I'll do like a nice like fresh repack, but I didn't do that this last time, and I regretted.
Well, you've been doing better. I've seen you doing better by the end of our trip. So maybe
Thanks.
you weren't feeling great. Okay, so I mean, we have so many things to get into today. Should we tell them about Hamptons
Yeah.
and our unexpected New York trip?
Yeah.
That was pretty kooky.
Yeah. Some of that we won't be talking about, but
Some of it we will not be discussing. Some of it is going to stay in the East Coast. But
yeah.
we're here, so we survived the helicopter.
Spoiler alert.
It was very scary. I enjoyed not a
You know,
single minute of that.
Actually wasn't as scary in the helicopter.
Oh, I did not like that.
No, honestly, like the takeoff, smooth. Landing, even smoother.
The landing was very smooth.
The entire ride, I was like, okay, I didn't like the looking down part. There was a point where I was just like, I think I'm ready for this to be over. And like when you're ready for something like that to be over and you have like no choice, you're like, I just gotta keep waiting this out, keep breathing. But like surprisingly, I think because we had smooth air and weather, that it was a nice ride, but like wasn't as horrible as I was expecting the journey to be.
It wasn't violent.
The ride back, however, which we didn't take a helicopter back, we took a small plane. What kind of plane was that?
I think it was a seaplane. I don't know what
it had a
type it is.
propeller in the front of it, and the wings of the plane went across the top of the plane, and then it had those like things on the bottom that it could land on water. So
it
whatever
looked
it's
like
called.
someone from shop class got really excited with super glue when we walked up to it. I was like,
It
don't
looks-
know how I feel about that.
It looks like one of those planes that someone builds
yeah,
with glue,
and they have a little remote control on the ground. I'm like, don't know about that.
with
But
tweezers and glue. It looks like a plane that someone Yeah.
We were also, by that point, we had been drinking for 48 straight hours. We were tired. We were hungover. And then when it was like windy and the plane is kind of rocking from side to side like this, and it
It
kept like
was
dropping significantly. I'm sure the pilot would say that that was all totally normal, but I felt like an untethered bee in the sky. And then it was
yeah.
just like also trying not to
No,
throw up
I
from
felt
being
like
hungover.
I was tied to a kite and just that was the ride home.
Oh, and it was
just a bike kite.
and the weather had turned, so it was like they were literally like, "You guys, we have clearance or takeoff. We have to get on this plane and leave right now, or we cannot leave." And I was like,
It felt like we were like I was in a movie.
"No, it was like
and
get on the plane or we can't leave." And I'm like, "Well, maybe we just shouldn't leave because if the weather is
like
coming in that
we were
quickly."
chasing something or something was chasing us. It felt very rushed. I didn't feel totally I don't know, but like the pilots they seemed fine with everything. So I was like, okay, like you when you watch like the flight attendants and if they seem calm, I was watching the pilots and they were chilling and I was just like, cool. But still, this just feels like we're gonna drop out of the sky. I don't know. It just wasn't. It was not a soothing ride at all.
No,
Like
it
I would have
wasn't.
rather been in the helicopter.
I honestly
Not in that weather, but
not-
but I
yeah.
would have rather have done the first helicopter ride 10 times back and forth.
Yes, absolutely. Agreed. I still didn't love either, but the helicopter was, again, the smooth landing was like really exciting.
The way
but
they put that thing on the ground, that was daddy.
that was daddy. It was he like took us to the side and just kind of like if someone was what's that game where you with the board and the shuffleboard, they just like smoothly like send it down and it lands exactly where it's supposed to.
Yeah, no, it's like when like somebody like Tokyo drifts like so smooth into like a
Yeah.
parking spot.
So-
That's what it felt like. I was just like, damn, that was smooth. But yeah, that plane ride back, I was so happy to be on the ground.
So should we tell them the in the between?
Yeah,
the
yeah,
whole
okay.
part
So
of the
like, but
weekend?
yeah, now we got the transport from JFK or whatever to the Hamptons.
And we did the red eye, so we were so tired, but like when you're so tired you can't nap, like, and also we had a really limited amount of time when we got to the house before stuff started, but stayed in a gorgeous house in East Hampton.
Mm-hmm.
Again, and Patron is such a fun brand, and they like really did this trip right. It was so fun, like everything was so well thought out. But
Yeah.
we got there and did a quick like meet and greet with everyone else. They gave us a little tour of the house, and then it was like, now rest for an hour and a half, and then you will not rest again until you go on your tiny seaplane, which is essentially what happened.
No, Patron is one of the best brands to do like anything with because they know how to have a good time. And it's the Patron flows the entire time. So you really have to like know how to pace yourself.
It was celebrating El Cielo, and so smooth, so easy to drink,
Mhm.
and they have like amazing cocktails for us. They had a bartender. We met so many amazing people, like both on the Patron side and running the house and whatnot, and we just loved it.
Yeah. If anyone knows me, you know that I am a Patron gal. Because they really kind of like educate you on their tequilas and how they're made and their history, and like they really are their whole process of making it is really special and unique to other brands. I'm not gonna shame it on this
They
mic,
were also
but
really classy because we did a blind tasting with other brands, and they would not tell us who the other ones were they were obviously such a cut above, and it was just like, and honestly, for the amount of liquor I consumed, jazz and liquor all weekend long,
jazz and liquor.
I should have been really hungover, but I honestly wasn't. Like I was mostly just tired, so I think it speaks to how good it was. But
I've been fortunate enough to go to Jalisco, Mexico, and visit their hacienda and this like town where they make their tequila. And their process from like the agave fields where the humidors, take the agave plants and they do the what the
shocking.
the shucking, I guess it is. To where they go in like the ovens and the whole distilling process and everything, and every bottle, everything is truly done by hand. Every bottle's touched by hand. Those little green ribbons that go on the bottles are all put on by hand, and everything is so wonderful. The town that the hacienda is in, they like employ like basically everyone in there, the retirement community they give back to. It's like they also like their irrigation system, the recycling of like the water, they do composting. It's like pretty incredible what they do. So shout out to Patron for that. But anyway, yeah. So
And they got us to wear white, which is
yeah, they got us
first and
in
last
white.
for me, but
they wanted to have like a little white party with everybody, so we all put on our only white clothes.
I purchased a white because I didn't have anything. yeah, put on a little white outfit. And also everyone we met was so nice. Like the other people in our house, like Harry and Dom were so lovely, and all the other
And
people.
Tinks and Lucas and Peyton and Cameron.
Peyton and Cam, they were lovely. We had such
Yeah.
a good time. So it was
It
like
was
a
like
nice
not
mix
a
of people.
huge group of us, but everyone was just like fun and cool and like had like a really good time together.
And all enjoyed tequila. But yeah, we went to a little tasting. So that's where we got some education. And also when I sat down, I was like, there are 5 champagne glasses of tequila. And I had already had a bunch of cocktails, and I'm like starting to do girl math and being like, okay, before I stop remembering, how many more can I have? And so I like kind of slowed it down there. But then we went to Surf Lodge, which I had never been to before. It was the first time in the Hamptons. That was what I would describe as pretty rowdy. It was a pretty
Oh,
rowdy
it's a
experience.
party. Oh yeah.
I was on one by the end of that experience. I was definitely had taken a turn of like fun, but just like I was out of control. I was dancing on tables. That was my entire thing for the whole weekend, by the way. I haven't danced on a table in years. Bring table dancing back.
The lost art.
Could not get off of a table to dance on it. We met so many fun, cool people. There was this amazing girl, and she
Shout out to you.
what was her name? I'm so sad if you're listening right now. I fucking love you. She put on her phone, Disrespectfully is my favorite podcast, You Ladies Rock, and was like standing back in the crowd, and like we came and said hi to her, and she was so cool. And yeah, just a bunch of very fun people. If we got to meet you, we adored it. Such a good time. Like everyone was just, I don't know, what am I missing about the white party?
The chicken tenders at Surf Lodge.
Katie's date was chicken tender, and she was never not holding a chicken tender.
There's photos to prove it.
She also was shoving them down my gullet, and I
You
was like,
wouldn't
I
even
don't.
take a bite. Well, first of all, you were not eating, and I was like, and the alcohol consumption, you gotta eat the food.
And which is weird because I'm the biggest drunk eater of all time, but I literally just like wasn't hungry. I did have half of a lobster roll at Surf Lodge, but that was it.
Yeah, but
And a tiny one at the house.
Okay, but you can't say you had half a lobster roll because people are imagining a lobster roll like this. The lobster rolls were this big.
At Surf Lodge, at home, they were like that. It was like the bite-sized one.
No, they were okay. Fine, they were this big. They were small.
Protein. Lobster. Okay, you dropped a personal item of yours behind. We were like up on a high-rise thing, and I was like, I'm going to get it. I went to climb off of the, like, how do we describe it? It's like a big deck. I was standing on a bench
With
on
like
the deck.
a slope.
And she showed it to me to just like show it to me. And I was like, I've got it. And I went, and Katie grabbed my arm like a mom with a toddler.
Like
I was
hell
like,
you are.
I was like, no, I can do it. I'm in a dress and high heels, mind you. Tried to go off the back of the deck, and someone else saw what we were doing and was like, please stop, and went to go get it. But that's just like kind of where my head was at. Like that's just where I was.
Yeah.
Where were you? Chicken tender.
Chicken tender, dancing up a storm, having time of my life. And then on the way home, I don't know, like,
oh, was that night?
Yeah, I
lap
decided
dances?
I was gonna give like lap dances to every single person on our shuttle bus.
Everyone got a lap dance. You were like the Oprah Winfrey of lap dances. You get a lap dance, and you get a lap dance.
If someone's gonna play Genuine Pony,
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to grind on you.
Oh, they were paying fantastic,
Like, it's gonna happen.
fantastic music.
I don't
in the
know.
shuttle.
It's like I'm like Derek Zoolander when they play Relax. I become like I got like hypnotized, and that's just what happens when that song plays.
Am I your Mugatu? Like, play Genuine.
Mugatu.
I was that way with the Yin Yang twins. And yeah, we were both being just, I hope there's very little to no footage of that.
Unless they have it for their own personal collection, no one showed me any footage.
But then we got home, and I was like, they had a cold plunge there, and I assumed that it was up and running. It wasn't. And I was so fucking drunk. I was like, you know what? I am going to do a cold plunge and wake up. And then we're going to go in my dress. And I was like, we're going out. I just need to wake up. So I went to go get in the cold plunge, and it was half full and warm. And so that wasn't going to work. And I was like, fine, I'm going to go for a swim, and then I'm going to wake up. Everything's going to be great. I went for a swim in my dress for an hour, never made it out, obviously. I came out, my dress, I mean, it was really poorly made, but the zipper got stuck, and I ripped that shit off of my body like the goddamn Hulk. I had someone try and help me, and I was just like, no. Ripped it off, wrapped a towel around myself, came to the kitchen. Then the not eating caught up with me. This house, you guys, it was like, I remember
dream.
being little and watching Spice World. And when the little girls got to go on the bus, all I cared about was how many snacks there were and being like, fuck, that's so cool. Like, I want those snacks. They had it was like a 7-Eleven. So obviously we felt right at home. I made a plate of like a taco with a salad that did not get touched.
No, but they had like shelves where it was like chips and like Pop-Tarts and like just like all the best like snacks you could like want to like a snacker's dream.
I had 3 Rice Krispies. I had Oreos. I had 3 different types of chip. Oh my God, what else was there? There was like a type of cheese, all this shit. But it was like such a snacky dream. So that's how I ended my night. And I loved it. We're supposed to go to a club and I was just like a wet sewer rat eating Cheetos like it was my job.
And this was day 1, night 1. We had a full next day. So we're like, probably best not to.
So then the sleep that evening wasn't great. Okay. So honestly, I've slept in so many beds with Katie and I've never had this severe of a problem besides her weird humming. We were fucked up. I remember looking at you and being like, you're too drunk. We shouldn't go out. And you started laughing and went like this at my plate, my little mound of snacks. And you're like, Dana. And I'm like, did the alligator take your job? I was like on one. So Katie gets in bed and I wake up to a fucking violent starfish. She's laying, we are in a queen, by the way, and I sleep in a king by myself. I can't be touched. I'm very like, I think I've talked about this before. I get so like triggered if someone touches me when I'm trying to sleep. And she was like fucking elbowing me and doing whatever. And I would like shove her over and I'd be like, Katie. And then she would like roll a little bit. And then she came back on her back, humming, a little bit of snoring, weird noises that I was just like, girl, what are you doing over there?
Possessed.
She was possessed by the ghost of his El Cielo past. Like I was just like, babe, you gotta stop. So I'm up at from 3 or 4 till the next day. Because I just could not fall asleep. I was so ornery.
She told everyone about it the next day.
Absolutely,
like it was like,
I did.
Like it was breaking news.
To be fair, I didn't run out just shouting it. People were like, how'd you sleep? And then I would be like, I've slept better. I have. I really have. But obviously you didn't mean anything.
No,
I
listen, it's not like I was asleep.
You weren't trying to ruin my life, but holy shit, I was so
normally
mad.
I'll fall asleep and I kind of just like stay in one position. I might do a little talking, but like
no, that was, and I have seen you drink all kinds of things in all kinds of ways. And you were the scariest person I was so mad. Anyway, so we got up in the morning and again, well, I had been up, but I was like, I'm just going to get out of bed. And you know, when it's just like that, you're not feeling great. But again, we were drinking really nice alcohol, so it could have been worse. So we like go out and they have wellness shit going on. So we got a little like mini facial, which was really helpful.
That was lovely.
And we had, Keurig was there. They had like set up 1,000,000 coffees for us. So I had a couple coffees. So just when you haven't eaten and drank, definitely have as much caffeine as possible.
Bagel, coffee,
a schmear.
facial.
And I like couldn't even eat then. I like wasn't, again, like still wasn't hungry. But then what else did we do the second day? Oh, it was a big pool party.
Yeah, well, we got to relax a little bit. Then they had like a really wonderful like brunch. There was like a chef that came in and made this like really incredible brunch. It was so tasty.
Everything was so, I know that's the point because it's an influencer trip, but everything was so beautiful and picturesque. Like, and also the Hamptons, by the way, so fucking gorgeous.
Yeah, no, because it's like
everywhere you turn, there's like beautiful
beach, but you're also like in the woods. Like it's very, it's really stunning.
We kept pointing out, we're like, do you think this is where Allie and Noah were? I know you guys miss us talking about the affair. We were like, oh my God, do you think this is where they met? Do you think this is the bar they're at?
We did not go to the lobster roll. Sorry to disappoint.
We didn't, but we wanted to.
I know, we thought about it. Yeah, but that looks like Allie's house. Was that Allie's house? It definitely looks like Allie's. But yeah, so then there was like a pool party where they invited like obviously like other people to come. There was like a bunch of people that showed up for this like huge party, DJ, all kinds of cool ass shit happening. I stayed in the pool. We stayed in the pool. So we did that. And then
many cocktails later. Oh, I got an ear piercing because they had a piercer.
Cocktails. Oh, yeah.
I didn't even tell you it rejected. Look, I had to take it. I had to take it out. This happens to me, which I have had probably 25 ear piercings in my life because like I feel naked without them, but they reject and I have problems. So last night it swelled so bad. I have these fucking nails that are holding on by a thread and are long. I had used pliers. I almost called you and came to your house because I was in so much pain that it was like if I didn't pull it out, it was going to pull through my ear. I literally almost came over to your house in a state of emergency, but I used pliers and got it out. Ow. Horrible. So it rejected. So anyway, I don't know if that was the piercer or also the fact that I got a piercer and then was just not doing any aftercare because I was like drunk in the Hamptons in New York. I'd probably say it's more the problem. But anyway, so got a piercing because I just can't help myself.
The other night, we had cocktails at this place called Gurney's. Sunset, lovely. And then
one of my most unsavory qualities is how I'm so Dateline and I'm so paranoid and I'm so afraid of everyone. You get a couple cocktails in me, I will give you my social security number. I will give you any of my
Oh, yeah.
information. I'm like, we're all of a sudden I'm talking to these 3 guys who are lovely, but these like guys from Brooklyn, and I gave them my number, like my Instagram, everything. And I'm like, then when I get texted the next day or later, and I do this at like
Who the
whenever
hell is this?
I'm at an afters, and I'm like, I had a whole kiki with someone that I don't even really know what we chatted about. So anyway, that was Gurney's for me.
And it was a good time. And then we went and had dinner at a place called Placebo, and there was like dancers, and the thing is, I was like, I couldn't really catch what the vibe was there, like Tulum.
Yeah, it was like a little Tulum, and they aren't, just so you know, if you ever go, table dancing friendly. I got
Well, because
shouted out several.
the table was definitely just for dining.
It was rickety.
It was rickety, and I didn't think they wanted to catch a case.
Yeah, that's true.
But also a DJ.
DJ who's wearing a great Princess Diana shirt.
Yeah, no, he was.
I loved
He
it.
also was DJing at the pool party. Really cute.
Mhm.
Also probably very young, but there was one that I told you when I was in
Yeah.
the bathroom, and I was keeping the bathroom door shut because our bedroom was like on the ground floor, like right by where like people were kind of coming in and out of the house to have like piercings. So like they were definitely trying to come into our bathroom. So I like shut the door and like kind of like locked it. All of a sudden there's a knock on the door, and I thought it was you coming back in. I open up the door, and it's cute DJ. I was like, ooh.
You're like, you want to spin my record? I'm sorry. Did you need to use the facilities?
Oh, hello. But yeah, then so that DJ was there that night. Like,
Following you around.
oh, hello.
Obviously.
Hello. You saw me in my robe earlier.
I had a freak lobster claw accident.
Dana was going nuclear on this crab leg.
I see a crustacean and I come undone. And also, again, I'm like starving by this point. I had been drinking forever, and I was like trying to rip this giant stone crab claw apart. You can still see the scab. I like took like a cut of my knuckle came off. Didn't stop me. Kept going. Was for everyone around the tables like, give me that tail. Just cracking that shit open. Barbaric. And then we're out and we're like in a cute outfit. And I'm out for the rest of the night, and I am covered in crustacean juice.
Nice.
It was really sexy.
That was a lot of fun. I liked that place a lot.
That was probably my favorite
because
part.
we were like dancing and having a good time. These really sweet girls came over and gave me cake because it was their birthday. I love cake.
We love cake.
But yeah, and then we left there and went to a club, and then
My night was over. There's a
Lights.
photo of me in the background. I'm like sitting there
like
disassociating.
the bottle girls are out there like woo, and like the guys are all sitting like up kind of on like the back of the like bench, like yeah, and then there's Dana
with my hair in a bun,
like disassociating.
tapped. Like we talk about this all the time, but when I'm done, I'm just done. Like I don't care who's coming. If you want to stay, go. I don't care what you do. My social battery is out, it's out. Gotta go. So yeah, I went back, and then we woke up the next day and we're like, we are real silly gooses because we were gonna fly back to see Ariana in her second run on Broadway in a couple weeks, and it just wasn't going to work out. So we were like, we're in New York. Why don't we just stay here?
Why don't we just stay? Like, why don't we change our flight and stay? So we did that.
We did exactly that. So that we took our scary, scary plane, made it back to New York. It was ended up being a very long travel day just because like delays in the flight and driving all over New York and whatever. But we got to the hotel and there was a thunderstorm.
So we climbed in bed, turned on some Harry Potter.
We took showers, got in our robes that were black. We looked like Death Eaters. We put on the Deathly Hallows
room
part one.
service.
It's raining. It's thundering. We order pasta. We order cheesecake. I got it both nights. It was so good.
I mean, like such a solid evening, you know, after like 2 days of like nonstop, just to like have like a cozy night with the rain outside and Harry Potter on and room service. Like we went to bed at 9 o'clock.
We wouldn't shut up about it because we would have been on a flight back to LA
Yeah.
and we just like couldn't. I wasn't up for it. So yeah, we went to bed I turned the TV off, I believe at 8:30, and I was like, you can do whatever you want over there. I need to
No,
shut
I
my
think
eyes."
we went to, and I think we slept for 12 hours.
Yeah, it was iconic. But then we had a quick little New York jaunt.
Yeah. We had a nice little like day in the city, had like a cute little breakfast lunch at Ruby's Cafe, walked around.
Made little charm necklaces at the Chelsea Market. We
yeah.
stayed in Chelsea.
We made charm necklaces, and then we came back and got ready and went and saw Ariana in Chicago.
How fucking good was she?
Okay, like I saw her the first time, cried tears of joy and pride and happiness for her because she was fucking phenomenal. This time, she was even better. We both talked about this. Like she just seemed so much more confident, and like her voice was so good. Like she just was like bossing the fuck out of that stage in that role. Like I was just like, oh my God.
I saw her opening night, so it was her very first show, and obviously I
Mhm.
haven't seen her since then. And she was amazing on the first night, but this was like after was like, you are a different performer. I would put her next to any Broadway star who's been doing it for years. You would not know the difference. She was so confident. Her comedic timing was amazing. Her voice sounded, I was just like, we were both sobbing and also drunk, obviously, because we were like, let's just keep this
Oh, yeah,
train
'cause
going.
we
And we're gonna,
had a couple martinis we had went to a restaurant nearby and had a little bite and 2 martinis.
and then we were like, hey, you know what we need? Jugs of wine.
Wine.
Let's get the Chicago wine because obviously.
And I always say that martinis and wine are the deadliest combination, but I always repeat.
We thought we were so above it when we skipped our flight and stayed in New York. We're like, oh, we're gonna feel so good when we fly out.
Yeah, because
no,
no one wants to fly in the condition of being like hungover.
we were in the exact same condition.
Worse.
Same worse. We were in actually worse shape.
Way
I would say.
worse.
Worst hangover I've ever had. Then we had 5-6 hours to sit and wait for our flight.
And I
but
also started my period, so I was having terrible cramp. I was in one of like top 10 worst conditions I've ever been in. I kept looking at you.
let's put a button in that and
look in
come
my
back.
face.
No, because that was insane. So Ariana was amazing. By the way, again, we met so many great Disrespectfully listeners. So if you're listening right now, we met you. We met some in line. We met some in the theater. You guys were amazing and just like love you. Thank you for coming to say hi to us. And then Ariana and Teffy did a little Q&A. We'll have Teffy on at some point.
Yep.
Whenever
we are
next
gonna
time
have
she's
her
coming
on.
in LA, we're gonna steal her. But then we just only got a quick squeeze because she had to go to the DNC. And yeah, that was pretty much then we woke up. I've never seen Katie like that. It was right up there with the way she was starfishing with a bed. I've never seen that either. There was a lot of new sides to you. You were not doing great. I mean, you were looking much better. I'm glad that you've improved. But yeah, and we were both not totally well. So we got to the airport. We had like 3 hours because we just were like, let's just beat the traffic and get there if we have nothing else to do. FYI, while I was at the airport, I watched all 3 parts of that Scott Peterson documentary. I need someone to discuss this with, so like please someone DM me, but I don't feel any differently about him. I think they are going to test some DNA. Go ahead. I think he's still very guilty, but it is worth a watch. There's many reasons why I feel this way, but please watch it. It's interesting on Peacock. But anyway, so then yeah, that was New York and now we're here.
Is it Peacock or Netflix?
It was on Peacock.
Oh,
The newest one that's like that he actually speaks in is on Peacock. But yeah, the evidence is circumstantial. It's just not convincing to me that like on Christmas Eve morning, he drives 90 miles to put his boat that is new after he had been looking up currents in the San Francisco Bay, telling his mistress, I just lost my wife on the 6th. So weeks before she was missing. Says, I just lost my wife. Goes 90 miles on Christmas Eve. That's like her whole family. Like on a holiday, would you just drive 90 miles to go boating? I just think and there were like closer reservoirs near where they lived. It just doesn't make sense to me. And then she ends up 4 months later, her and her baby's body are found in the San Francisco Bay. And he was right adjacent to there that morning. Like there's just so many things. And like, I think that just because you cheated on someone doesn't mean you killed someone. But the fact that he told his mistress, I lost my wife, and like the mistress recorded a lot of calls with the police, and it's so damning. I don't know. And even when they were like, what do you hope to get out of this? He was like, oh, I want to ease the pain of my family a little bit, blah, blah, blah. I don't know. If it's me and I'm innocent, I would feel like I would be like, I want to find out who did this to my wife and child. That person is still out there. Like that, you know what I mean? I want justice for Lacey and yes, your family too. But I just, if they have some smoking gun and it comes out, then I will admit I'm wrong. But I feel pretty solid about this. So interesting stuff. Anyway, so that's what I did when I was hungover. That's what I chose to consume. Just let myself get worse and worse by the minute. Anyway, we're healing.
I know you saw it because it's on there, but the whole hacker situation that billions and billions of people got their social security number stolen.
Okay, was someone being dramatic that I think someone said all of us.
Yeah,
Every
all of us.
single
I don't know.
person.
I saw that, and you know what I did?
What'd you do?
I laughed. I just was like, dude, have it. At this point, like literally, like have it. Like I don't know. I don't. Guess what? I don't even know where my social security card is.
Okay, that's what I was going to ask.
I don't know
you.
where my birth certificate. The fact that we're given these pieces of paper and they're like, hang on to this for the rest of your life. No chance.
Well, also,
no chance.
someone was like, I really miss precedented times. Like every fucking week, Mpox is back. I'm fucking sick of everything. But here's the thing. I could not tell you where my social security card or birth certificate is. I know my sister had it for an amount of time, but she has kids now and like her own certificates to manage. So I do not, and she's been through several moves. I highly doubt. So I'm like, does someone just have it like in their wallet or framed on their wall or in their office? I left also because at this point, what are we supposed to do? And like, fuck it.
Listen, I've like kind of had my identity stolen once before. Sort of.
Like someone catfished or like
Ooh.
real?
No, like fraud.
What happened?
Oh, they opened up like several accounts for like Time Warner, or no, not Time Warner, DirecTV. There was like things like that. Those accounts opened and they were delinquent for like years, and it destroyed my credit. And I didn't know about it because I didn't know about it. And wasn't until I went to apply for an apartment, and they were like, your credit score is like real, and I was like, that's impossible. I have immaculate credit. And so I went and looked into it. I ran, a credit score, and I had all these accounts, and I was like, I've never had a DirecTV account. And I looked at the address. I've like never looked at that address. So I had to go back, of course, and like get my previous like landlords during that time thing, get like a letter notarized saying that like I lived at this address during that time. So there's no possible way. I mean, it was a nightmare. And of course, once they were like, you go back to like the, creditors or whatever, and like they were like, all right, so yes, turns out you were not responsible. This was fraud. They deem it fraud on the thing. Your credit score just stayed. So,
That's it.
so
They
you
don't retroactively fix it.
they
How is
don't.
that? How is that possible? If
That is what's fucked up. So it's like, okay, sure, you weren't the reason why these accounts were delinquent, and that was the reason why your credit score got dragged down. So we're just gonna like bump it back up for you to where it should be standing right now. No, now it's up to you just to repair it.
And
So
that
like
takes
it took a really long
that
time.
takes years.
It probably took me like 5 or 6 years. Yeah, it's fucked up.
Should we be doing something though? I just read it and was like, "Ugh, I don't know. What are we supposed to do?
You just gotta like run credit reports. I don't know. Like at this point, like people are constantly selling information and constantly doing that kind of stuff. But it's like, so it's like when it's everybody, it's like, when are people, I was talking to a friend, like, use your powers for good. Delete everyone's student
Oh my God.
loan
I'm
debt.
like, yeah,
Delete,
can we
like,
please hack in and you can take my identity, but please while you're at it, delete my student debt and all the things. Like, what? Yeah, why are you guys so mean?
delete others, like delete debt, like steal like social security information.
Also,
like,
or go like steal from not individual people. Like, I don't want to say big corporations, but just, I want to, whatever.
but I'm just saying, if you have that kind of power, use it for some good. How about that?
Try it on for size.
Yeah, but I just saw that and I just like laughed because I'm just like, here we are.
Wait,
Here
that's
we fucking are.
That's so crazy. I've always wondered what happens after your credit is damaged because of fraud. Like that's what a bad
I'm
system.
I'm living proof that, but it's all good now. But I mean, it's just, it was terrible. I was like, so my credit just is what it is. Like,
Great.
flawed. That is flawed,
It's
right?
flawed. Yeah, I mean, I complain it all the time. It's a different thing, but like I literally went to in-state college on Pell Grants and had student loans, and the interest I have paid since I graduated college, I think at this point like $22,000 in interest and $7,000 toward my principal. And it's
What?
it's almost the entire amount. I have $30,000 in loans, so I basically have paid like nothing down.
What is the interest? What is the rate?
It's like 6 point something. And mind you, this was a public in-state school, and it was also not private loans. It was FAFSA. It was through the federal government. And when you have Pell Grants, it's because your parents don't have
You can't
means to send
afford
you
it.
to school. You can't afford it. So it was my senior year I got screwed. And anyway, I don't know. It's just there's so many things that we all recognize are bad systems, and then like it just keeps happening. If someone wants to write in and tell us what we're supposed to be doing right now, like it's in the same way that when the big one comes, I don't know what you're supposed to do in case of an earthquake. And like, what are we supposed to be doing?
Bend over. Literally. I don't know. Like what? Seriously, you can only prepare for so much, but at the end of the day, no one's actually been through it. They can't be like, well, this is what I did. Again, when it comes to like, if you feel like you've had your identity stolen, yeah, just keep running. But apparently, when you keep running credit reports, that ruins your credit. But it's just you gotta like be able to catch things.
I honestly have so many things I'm scared of all the time. So like it's just one more thing. Again, I just don't need to add this to the pile. I'm like, can we please just get this figured out? So, well, I wish we had a better solution. What's that movie that's like, he's like, bend over and kiss your butt goodbye. That's what that just reminded me of. Can we talk really quickly about the Bennifer Split?
Oh yeah.
Because please explain to me why Jennifer Lopez is having her Legally Blonde moment. She marches into that courthouse with no representation and is like, what? Like it's hard? Like, what are you doing?
habeas corpus.
Look, I am fascinated by this whole situation because she made her movie, which I
The
still
movie
have not
about
seen.
how she's like, she finally found love.
It's called The Greatest Love Story Ever Told.
She really just like sucked Ben Affleck's energy dry for that movie.
Look, we don't know what happened, but I did see a quote. There's so many cringe things, and it sucks. She's a Leo, and it's just like the bad representation. she's like something about I'm an artist and sometimes people aren't comfortable being the muse. And I'm like, babe, that's like what that one twin that was like chain smoking on Call Her Daddy and was like, yeah, artists, we're
Oh.
pretty fucked up. And it was like a Disney Channel star that was like,
Oh, was it one of the Sprouse? Which one was it? One of the
Cole.
Sprouse twins. Cole Sprouse?
that. I'm just saying, like, we're like, babe, we get it that you probably did go through trauma because like all Disney kids, whatever.
I
But
know, but
to be like, you're acting like you are Daniel Day-Lewis and having to method act your way through life, and he's just like,
you're really playing up the
you're
character.
really leaning into it, so I need you to relax. I think that Jennifer gives the same energy. But like, what happened? Because they came back together and they were so happy, and it was like everyone was so excited. We're like, we do believe in love, and now this has happened, and I'm like, I only believe in Dunkin' Donuts at
I
this
mean, it
point.
kind of harkens back to like, like remember like when he'd be at all like the award shows and on the red carpet, he's just looking so
He would
sad.
like smile, and immediately when he thought people were looking at him, would be like,
And
like,
and the thing is, like, I like someone that's just like, I don't feel like having to smile all the time. Like, it's just like my like resting state is just looking a little like bummed, and that might be it. It doesn't mean he's not happy. It's just like you don't have to have a smile plastered on your face, but also like, yeah, what did happen? If she'd spent all this time writing this movie, creating this movie, the whole thing, and then just
well, thank God she sunk all her money into a project that flopped because they do not have a prenup. So this is also something that's fascinating to me. If you are listening, yes, I know I've never been married, but I have seen some shit. Please, God, I don't care if you go into this marriage and you think, well, we don't have anything. You might someday. Please get a prenup.
it's like marriage relationship insurance.
Get a prenup. Also someone once described it. An attorney was talking about it and was like, if you don't have a prenup, you're leaving it up to the government. Also, FYI, it's like if you die without a will, then you're leaving it up to the government to decide what's going to happen here.
No,
Like,
you're leaving it up to like chance that this person's gonna not like. Because I mean, yeah, when you get married, it's an entirely different situation than when you're you're in a different state of mind and everything than when you get divorced. So at least you can be in a certain space where you can decide how things should go or how everything should go down should things go fucking sideways. And you can be level-headed about it and approach it in a way that feels respectful and mindful and everything like that. It's like it's the least sexy romantic thing that you could possibly do, but should shit hit the fan, you're gonna be real fucking happy that you have that, and no one's gonna, no one gets to be an asshole because you already have this shit.
you guys, marriage has a 56% failure rate. And then in addition to that, there's a rate, I think it's another 20 of like people that stay in marriages for the kids or whatever that eventually, I can't remember how they described it, but it's basically like technology that fails so often, why not just do it? Like things do change, but I don't see Ben like, because I think that she does have more money than her. I think he just wants to be left alone so badly. I can see him just getting out of there, but I think it'll be fascinating to see how this goes. And like, what's with she's such a thespian. Why are you going to the courthouse without a lawyer acting like you aren't J-Lo and waiting until your guys' wedding anniversary to file? She did it on the day of their actual ceremony anniversary.
But you can't get like a, what do they call it? A dissolution or
Annulment.
annulment. Yeah.
That means when it's like we pretend this didn't happen, which
Yeah.
doesn't make sense to me
I
because
thought
it did.
I thought you had to, that could only be under a certain amount of time. You're with someone.
Oh, I don't know that she's trying to get an annulment. I think she's just saying
Well, no, I thought it
irreconcilable
was
differences.
either dissolution or annulment, like one of those things where it's like it's not like quote unquote a divorce, where it's just kind of like let's just like basically rip up the papers.
Well, I'm not an attorney and neither is he. So neither of us have any business going in and representing ourselves. So I'm just like, she's never going to dodge the grandiose rumors. She's never going to be the speculation about herself. But
I mean, I always thought they were a strange couple to begin with. Whenever they were dating way back when, I was like, this feels like an odd pairing. So when they broke up, I was like, yeah, that makes sense. And now when they got back together, I was like, listen, I guess I was wrong. Maybe they were always destined, meant to be together. And I kind of like got into it for a bit. And I was like, cool. And just pretend like this. I'm like, love doesn't exist.
this was her 5th marriage. By the
Oh.
way, it's her 5th marriage. And again, to have an entire movie called, I feel like at this point I need to watch it. Should we watch it?
Yeah,
I feel like we need to
probably.
watch it just to feel something.
Yeah, we should.
Allison, did you see it?
Absolutely not.
Yeah, I'm just like, God, please stop making memeable moments. We're begging you. Anyway, it's sad when
All I know is that
marriage
there was like a Vanderpump Rules line in there. There's a line in there.
about
A
what?
reference. I don't know. I think Jane Fonda has the line in it.
Oh, she's iconic. Monster-in-law. Well,
Is it Jane Fonda? But yeah, no, I let's watch it and we'll report back our thoughts on it.
yeah, I think we're going to have to.
But I just like I love all the memes of like now like Pete Davidson and Ben Affleck, obviously not actually holding hands, but like, and then just like Ben Affleck just like smoking cigarettes in different like locations around. I just feel like Ben. Listen, he might be you know, America's favorite scorned woman after this because he might be getting endorsements and like it might he might come out on top.
I think maybe me and him are meant for each other because I feel like we both mutually love cigarettes so bad. And like,
You should go for Ben.
I am a Leo. Should I shoot high? Ben Affleck, if you're listening, when you heal after therapy, hit me up.
Shoot your shot.
Maybe we can. Maybe
How do
we
you feel about Dunkin' Donuts?
I love it. Maybe we can share a donut and a coffee and a cig sometime and talk about how it all went wrong for us.
How do you feel about full back tattoos?
Oh, I love them. The worse, the better. I love them when
Amazing.
they're just nice and colorful and look like something out of Harry Potter. But I'm a big
You know
Harry
what?
Potter fan.
I could see you with someone like Ben Affleck.
What is he like? Like what when you say like someone like him? Like what do you mean?
Just aesthetically.
Yeah, someone that looks like this a lot.
Yeah.
I could too. We'd have such a like our kids. Would
It's
be
just
like,
I like it's like kind of like your demeanor,
a little ornery, a little
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah,
You
I
know?
can see it too. I don't know, guys. Manifest for me. I feel like we'd have a lot in common.
If anyone knows him,
I'm like quitting. I'm quitting
And-
smoking right now, and he's like, if I end up with him, I will chain smoke to the day I die.
manifest it.
Okay, we're gonna do that. I need your opinion on something. If you've ever felt overwhelmed by meal planning, grocery shopping, I'm speaking to you, Katie Maloney, and cooking, I totally get it. That's why we're so excited to share our experience with Hungry Root.
For me, managing all the meal prep used to be a huge hassle. With a busy schedule, it felt like I was constantly trying to juggle grocery runs, cooking,
Mm-mm.
and figuring out what to make. But Hungry Root has been a game changer.
When my first Hungry Root delivery arrived, I was so impressed. The process was so smooth, everything came prepped and ready to go. The recipes were super simple with natural ingredients that were high quality. I loved that, and it was so easy to whip up and a healthy meal without any stress. Like, hell yeah.
Oh, yeah. I totally agree. The food was not only easy to make, but also really delicious. It's so nice to have options that everyone likes and that fits into a busy lifestyle.
Compared to other methods of eating healthy, like takeout or meal delivery services, Hungry Root really stands out. Takeout, I used to spend a lot of money and still feel like I wasn't getting the best nutrition, and meal delivery services didn't always fit my dietary needs. But with Hungry Root, I'm getting fresh, high quality groceries and meals that align with my health goals.
Plus, Hungry Root helps me stick to specific dietary needs, whether it's gluten-free, vegan, or just looking for balanced meals. Their personalized approach makes it so much easier. And I'm definitely wasting less food now.
You sure are.
Mm-hmm.
Hungry Root really simplifies everything. They send fresh groceries and easy recipes right to your door. It's like having a personal meal planner that does all the hard work for you.
And right now, they're offering an amazing deal for our listeners. You can get 40% off your first delivery and free veggies for life.
I never get over that. Free
I
veggies
know.
for life is crazy. To grab this offer, just go to hungryroot.com/disrespectfully. That's 40% off your first delivery and free veggies when you use our link.
Again, that's hungryroot.com/disrespectfully. Don't forget to use our link so they know we sent you. Summer is the perfect time for indulging in all those cool treats like ice cream, popsicles, and lemonade.
And frozen hot dogs. Okay.
But have you ever thought about getting your hydration fix from those same flavors?
Yeah, that's where Liquid IV comes in. They've got these incredible summer flavors like popsicle firecracker and rainbow sherbet that are not only refreshing, but also pack serious hydration punch.
No hot dog flavor.
No hot dog flavor. We're going to write a letter.
Yeah, we're gonna write a letter. I've been loving the Liquid IV flavors. The other day, I tried their rainbow sherbet, and it was like taking a scoop of summer right to my hydration routine. It's so easy to use. Just tear open a stick, pour it into the water, and mix. It's seriously that simple.
I've been using the popsicle firecracker flavor. It's the perfect thing for cooling off after a workout, which I haven't been doing much of, or a hot day outside, which I have been enjoying.
It's like the 4th of July.
Mm-hmm.
And I love how Liquid IV isn't just about great flavors. It's scientifically formulated with LIV Hydroscience to provide superior hydration. Each stick contains 3 times the electrolytes of leading sports drinks and 8 essential vitamins.
Liquid IV is a game changer for staying hydrated. Whether you're traveling, at a summer festival, or you just need a quick hydration boost, it's super convenient and effective.
And don't forget about the variety of flavors, from the classic acai berry and lemon lime to the new sugar-free options like raspberry melon and green grape. There's something for everybody.
Absolutely. Liquid IV is not only delicious, but it's also sugar-free, non-GMO, vegan, gluten-free, and more. It's a smart choice for anybody looking to stay hydrated and healthy.
So why not indulge in some hydration this summer? Get 20% off your first order of Liquid IV by using our exclusive code.
Head to liquidiv.com and use code disrespectfully at checkout to get 20% off your first order.
Again, that's 20% off when you shop Better Hydration today at liquidiv.com using promo code disrespectfully.
Stay refreshed and hydrated all summer long with Liquid IV. Your body will thank you. Need your opinion. I need you to tell me
If you're gonna remove any kind of bone or appendage, my answer is no.
It actually has nothing to do with my floating ribs I want to take out. The yacht that just sunk. Did you see this?
No.
Well,
What is-
Sicily.
okay.
So there was a yacht and it was it was a billionaire's yacht. Huge
Super
watercraft.
yacht.
Okay. And there was something called a water spout, which is basically a tornado. Like apparently a storm happened really quickly. However, they knew a storm was moving in. And there was it wasn't far off land because there was a camera from land that caught it. Something happened with this water spout and it capsized and sunk in 5 minutes.
Were people on it?
Yes.
They died.
Yes. So the billionaire himself and his daughter passed away. I think they're also not really talking about the crew. I think the captain passed away. I think that some of the crew members
When did this happen?
a few days ago.
Holy
Oh my God, it's been all over. I think 15 people survived. There was a mother who held her baby above water for an hour. tried to what after it sunk. So I don't, and especially if it was, there's more that I need to know about it because there was, and I don't want to spread misinformation, but it was so close to the land. I don't know why it would have taken that long for someone to get out there, but for whatever amount of time it was significant for her to hold her baby above water while she was swimming. So they made it. Her and the baby made it. But yeah, really tragic and upsetting. But there's all these conspiracy theories about it because he apparently had just beat a case of some kind in court, something with fraud or something.
Oh.
And his partner, who had also they both got acquitted, had just been run over by a car and had just been taken off life support. So both of them
was a
died within a
hit.
really short amount of time. But I'm okay, can we really? I don't think that sinking a yacht is easy to do. So
It was off the coast of Sicily.
Sicily. Are you saying what I'm saying?
I'm saying it sounds a little
A little soprano-y?
don't mess with the family.
Oh, love that for you.
A little Michael Corleone. Shit.
So, well,
fucking
if you
nuts.
haven't, I guess it's not much to talk about if you haven't seen it, but you should look into it because it's.
I'm gonna look into it. I feel like I do a news scroll.
I would say that you have more of a life than I do, and you
Listen,
actively engage in.
I've been a little busy.
Well, I've come home and you know me, I can't, when I'm around a lot of people for an extended amount of time, I have to be alone and be quiet. One last thing, and then I think we should do some basement. I think we should go. Did you see this woman that came on the internet very confidently and was like, someone is catfishing my husband? Have you heard about this?
Wait, keep going.
I'm just going to tell you the story and I want your opinion on it.
Wait.
So she came on, when I say the internet, you guys know I mean TikTok, whatever. So comes on and she's like, someone made, but the profile itself looked like Hinge. So I think she was confused, but she was like, made a dating profile with my husband's photos. But get this, some of them were from my profile and it's private. And they cut my head out and blah, blah, blah. And obviously this information isn't true. His age is right, but this isn't where he went to school and this isn't where blah, blah, blah. If a friend of yours came to you and said, oh my God, someone's catfishing my husband, I found a dating profile with his photo on it, what would your first thought be?
I'm gonna hold your hand while I say this.
Bring, 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 bring.
I think your husband is on a dating profile. I don't think someone is I think he cropped you out. I don't think hello to Lululand.
It was such silly goose behavior to the point that I thought it was satire because I was like, she has to be rage baiting right now because all of the comments basically were saying exactly what we just said. And she did do a follow-up video and she was like, you guys are so worried about what's happening in other people's marriages. And okay, sister, I just want to point out you did come to the internet with this. And the internet is a cold and cruel place. There's I don't know what to tell you. So you did involve us. So to be fair, we now get a front seat to whatever happens here. But second of all, she was like, we were DMing them together. I was right with him when it was happening. And I'm like, I don't know. I've seen too much in my life to think that there's just no way that it's possible that it's this person. But to me, you're literally, listen to how you sound. It's my private profile. My photos were taken from that. Okay, so does your husband follow you? He probably does. Someone commented on it, was like, I had a jealous friend once. You do that, like, and show it to me, like make a dating profile for my husband and show it to me. So I guess that is possible. But I think when we hear hooves, should we think horses or zebras? We should think horses.
Well, what do zebras have?
Well, they're hooves, but it's a saying. When you hear hooves, think horses, not zebras. For instance, when I have the flu, I should assume I have the flu and not dengue fever or something.
Well, it's you we're talking about.
Exactly. Well, that's what I tell myself that. It's basically saying don't be a hypochondriac. So,
right.
Obviously, it's probably the more likely thing, but we just don't know.
Yeah.
I did read some clever responses though that I need to share with people because fascinating stuff. Basically, someone said, if you to check it, because she was like, I'm going to go through my phone, his phone, I have it right here or whatever. If the app, if Tinder or Hinge and you're in a relationship or a marriage isn't on your partner's phone, download it and then use their phone number to say, create an account. And then it will say you already have an account.
Okay.
So I thought that was, if anyone out there is needing to check on something.
I am just terrified.
I don't talk to anyone. Like, get away from me. I am so dead inside in like a good way. I'm like, you know what? Laszlo does not have a Hinge and I feel really happy about it. She doesn't have the opposable thumbs, number one. And number two, she's a loyal ass bitch.
I just realized I had a basement this morning and now I can't remember what it is.
Can I start? I have 5.
Yeah, go ahead. Maybe it'll jog it.
Okay.
How do you always have so many basements?
I don't know. It's my favorite part of the day. So my basement, sweet pickles.
Ooh.
Those lion ass
bread and butter
wannabe bitches. Okay. You look like a dill and I love a dill. I drink, as you know, I eat all the pickles out of my jar and then I drink the whole jar of juice over the next few days. My favorite thing. When it's a sweet pickle, it is so repulsive to me and I just don't understand people who like those. So
what are those made with? Like, how do they make them sweet? Pickles are pickled with like vinegar, right? Like, so
I don't know.
At what point are they like, and now we add the sweetness?
I don't want to like give witches a bad name, but some witch that hated children one day made sweet pickles to trick everyone. Like, what is wrong with you?
Yeah.
Ugh. Anyway.
Sinister shit.
Water spouts, which I wish I didn't know existed. The thing with the boat, the yacht, that's in the basement because now I spend an amount of time on water and it's just one more thing I have to fear. I wish my brain wasn't like that. You and I experienced this together. If you have TSA pre-check, what that tells me is you have been on a decent amount of flights.
You travel often.
You should know your way around an airport. If you have TSA pre-check and you get to the line and you act like you don't know what is going on and you hold up the line, you are so dangerously close to me taking a bin and smacking you in the back of your skull.
I feel like we've had this on our basement before.
I would, a WWE style, I don't care if it's a granny on the ground just fucking smacking them like this. I'm like, I had to pee so bad. We were going through the airport and I was just like, I just want to make it. TSA isn't a long line. And we get there. Someone's confused. They're taking their laptops out. I'm like, you have pre-check. What are you doing?
Well,
they're liquids. They're asking questions. They're doing
It was like an
ballet.
old man. It was an old man. I think he had something in his pocket.
I don't care about him.
No, I know, but no. And then the guy who was like behind the screen, like walked away to go the other. And I'm just like,
no, there was a woman and it was a chick with her kid, and I wasn't a screaming like toddler stop. It was a 10-year-old that was fine.
No, but like people literally like forget.
I'm gonna catch a case. If I ever do in my life, it'll be in a pre-check line. Okay.
It's really not hard. It's really not hard. It's a real simple thing when you're going through TSA.
Oh, it brings out such a bad side of me.
Especially it's in pre-check. You don't gotta take your damn shoes off.
Oh, someone was trying to take their shoes off. I'm like, I just, these are my
on the wrong
like
line.
And then I got on the wrong line, so it's my own fault too. So anyway, there was that. Someone tagged disrespectfully. I don't know if you saw it. Someone made a loaf of sourdough bread on an airplane.
Oh no, I saw.
Do you see it?
Oh,
okay. So they made it.
Wait, can that be my basement too? Because I hate.
Yeah, you can borrow that one. So you explain it. Because we were just talking about skincare is horrifying.
She was on her way to where like Spain or something. She was going to like Europe or some shit like that to see her sister, and so she was making a fucking sourdough starter. And that's one of those things that you gotta like.
Your hands are balls deep in that dough.
You gotta like knead it and
You
fold it.
do a
and
specific fold 10 times.
every 30 minutes or an hour or something like that. So she's on a plane, and again, you hear the noises people are making. People are sneezing without throwing a bow over their fucking face, coughing, just the bodily noises that are happening around you. I don't even want to breathe, let alone make a sourdough starter. I would be pissed the fuck off.
This bitch was the final boss of yucky airplane shit. I was like, I thought taping your mouth and putting a cream was bad.
No.
She is and she's like with her little flower, and also where the fuck you held up the TSA line. I know it. I know she did.
How
with
was
her
that
goddamn
allowed?
metal bowl. She said, and she's like fighting for life in the comments. She's like, no one cared. And I was like, they did care. They were too nice.
First of all,
I wouldn't be.
I can't even bring like it's not liquid, but like a powder, like for like a.
Isn't a sourdough starter alive? Isn't it a microorganism that like has feelings?
Yeast.
Well, I'm like, you guys, if it can like do a tap dance and type, maybe you shouldn't be bringing it on a plane. I'm like, what is it? It's alive.
Do you know what also grosses me the fuck out? When someone's going through the TSA and they put on the little belt thing that the roller bags go on, and they put their pillow that they brought from home on there. Fucking disgusting.
She probably put her flower on it.
And
just
then they
to be
get on
sure.
the plane and they cozy with, and then they bring it wherever the fuck they're going and sleep with that. And they're like, I like to bring a pillow from home because hotel pillows are gross. You're fucking gross.
You're gross.
You're gross.
You're gross.
Unless you're
They
like,
walk to the bathroom in the plane without shoes on or socks. That's what they do. I think even socks is disgusting, but it's dude.
if you go to that bathroom without fucking shoes on,
Your grippers. What kind of fungi do you
Socks
have?
or
You have
anything
an
like that.
entire ecosystem happening down there.
like you
South of
realize
your
that
ankle.
you realize that water on the ground, maybe a little bit's water.
A lot of it's urine.
It's pee-pee.
It's pee-pee.
It's pee-pee, friend.
You guys, I'm like watching her like do her folds. I watched
So
in such
fucking gross.
horror. I was like, this is unimaginable. And yes, if someone opened a cup of microorganism next to me on a plane, I would be so mad. I would make it such a problem. And I love sourdough
I want to
bread.
know what form it took on with all the other microorganisms floating in that air from someone's sneeze.
She had to be rage baiting, but I'm like, she's like, my sister, I wanted to bring her a fresh loaf of
My
what?
sister?
Dysentery?
And she had that like Nora Smith fucking voiceover thing happening too.
She's like, I need to make a fresh batch of the plague. So here's how I do it. And I'm like, do you hate your sister? Is that the vibe?
I want to kill my sister, so I'm gonna make her a bacteria bread.
If I bit into a loaf of sourdough bread someone gave me,
She
like,
goes, I made it on the plane.
guess where I made that? I would take the rest of it and jam it up their ass. They would taste sourdough in reverse. That is how that would happen. Like that South Park episode where Martha Stewart sits on a turkey. It would be just like that. No butter, no base, just like, God damn, that is so gross. Okay, I saved my final basement for last.
Okay.
I'm really excited.
You just did an eyebrow raise.
Ann Coulter.
Okay.
That bitch, that skid mark of a human being, that scarecrow ass bitch stays in my basement, okay? She is the epitome of what it means to have an ugly, ugly black heart. She took a video of, is it Gus Walls? Of Tim Walt's son, Gus Walls.
Emotional.
Crying and saying, that's my dad, because he had just said, proud of him, his dad's a teacher, like did all this shit. Again, I don't care what side you're on. This is just human nature. It was such a beautiful moment of crying and being proud. His son is special needs, they had said like trouble with communicating. So like to be able to be so expressive and whatever. And it was just a beautiful moment. I'm like, I wish I knew what it felt like to have a dad love me like that and like be so proud of them, like doing this thing. Ann Coulter posted it and goes, talk about weird. You have a rotten, nasty. It makes me cry watching. And anyone to be mean to him, I'm just like, again, I don't understand what. And then she tweeted again and was like, I didn't realize he was special needs. Even if he wasn't special needs, what's wrong with
that?
Being so proud of his dad? Like, what, you want him to be toxic masculinity and just like not express himself and be proud of someone who just said, he's named his 3 children and said, you are my whole world. I am so proud of you. I love you. Like,
no, it was beautiful. It was beautiful to see like a family that love each other so much, that are so proud, that can express it in such meaningful ways, as opposed to like, I don't know, another family that clearly fucking hate each other.
Yeah.
But I don't know. That's fucking weird.
She's just disgusting. She's always at the forefront of being awful, of like anytime she says something. Also, I think she was on someone's roast, and I believe Pete Davidson was like, Ann Coulter's here. Who's protecting the crops from the crows? And
Nice.
y'all know I'm not normally one to talk about someone's appearance, but I'm just like, I'm sorry, you're ugly on the inside and it makes you ugly on the outside. And that was just a nasty thing to say. And it's not weird. Let's normalize fathers and sons loving each other and having healthy relationships. It was amazing to see.
Mhm.
So, Gus, we love you. You come for him, you come for me. And I'm in a fucking mood today. So, anyway, I think
Anyway.
that's it.
That's it.
Do you have anything else?
No.
Was this boring?
No, it's never boring.
Okay.
Don't you ever say that about me
Okay.
or you.
Oh, no, you Scorpio. Your Scorpio Venus is Mars is showing.
Mars.
So scary. Okay. Love you. Bye.
Love you. Bye.
Babe, you're gonna see the power of women. Like,
Disrespectfully.